you're going to see this story all over the internet. And I like covering Epstein stuff because I find it interesting. So regardless of who's involved, I like to try and get down to the bottom of some of the mysteries that surround Jeffrey Epstein. And we will get to those in a minute. But the reports came out this week. This is from the Daily Mail, August 12th. Donald Trump flies on pedophile Jeffrey Epstein's old private Gulfstream jet, now owned by a top California GOP donor. This story is all over the news. It is Trump connected to Epstein. We must investigate. But what this really is that Donald Trump was riding on a plane that was previously owned by Jeffrey Epstein. It is not the Lolita Express plane. In fact, Jeffrey Epstein owned several different planes. But Jeffrey Epstein died in 2019. His assets went up for sale. This gentleman who runs a company called... his name's James Pravetti, and he runs a company that leases these charter planes. He bought the plane. He ended up buying the plane back in 2020. Originally, they wanted $16.9 million for it. He ended up purchasing it for $10.6 million, and then he uses the plane and leases it to people. If you guys remember last week, oddly, after surviving an assassination attempt, Trump's plane had mechanical issues.
Weird.
Trump Force One was grounded in Montana,
Billings, I think.
He needed to continue on the campaign trail, so his campaign went out and they leased a jet, not knowing that the jet belonged to Jeffrey Epstein at one point. The jet was actually tracked. Internet sleuths ended up figuring out that it was the same jet after they realized that the plane had flown to Aspen, Colorado. Trump had actually painted they put like a decal on the side, so it's like a Trump branded jet for right now. Trump doesn't own the jet. Jeffrey Epstein is dead, if you believe the reports. Epstein hasn't owned the plane for 5 years. And here's the next story. If we could go to the next news article, this is from the Daily Beast, August 12th. Donald Trump's campaign admits it rented Jeffrey Epstein's jet. They said it was by accident. They had no idea that the Gulfstream G55 was once owned by Jeffrey Epstein. The woman, the daughter of the guy who owns the company that leased this jet to the campaign, says that her father has no ties to Jeffrey Epstein. My dad had zero connection whatsoever to Epstein, period. His purchase of a plane had been His purchase of a plane that had an unfortunate previous owner allowed millions of dollars in restitution to be paid. So listen, the victims ended up winning. They got $10 million in restitution because this guy ended up buying this this jet that was once owned by Epstein. Again, it's not the Lolita Express, one of 3 that were owned by Jeffrey Epstein. But the news is going to run with this story. Robert, Jeffrey Epstein was Donald Trump was on Jeffrey Epstein's plane just to keep running with it.
This is the plane that he rented in order to get to the event when his other plane, when Air Force One, whatever he's on,
had mechanical issues.
He flew a 363-mile short flight from Jackson Hole, Wyoming to Aspen, Colorado, where he attended fundraisers on the campaign trail. He then flew back to Florida on Saturday night in a separate private chartered jet as his private Trump Force One was still undergoing repairs.
This is going to be the most useful piece of information in order to counter the fake news and the liars who are going to believe. They're not even going to pay attention to the date of the story. They're going to think that this is somehow contemporaneous with Epstein at the time. That's very interesting. And he got $6 million off buying it in a distressed sale.
Yeah.
Well, and again, it's not like even if you read the story today, it's not like. Wait, what do you think? There's like a kid still inside of the plane? What is the connection here?
Rob,
hold on. This is like me renting a car from Enterprise. And previous to me renting that car, the person that was using the car, who I have no connection to whatsoever, viciously rapes an innocent woman. It's horrific, but the guy ends up returning the rental car, and then I go a following week and rent the same rental car. What's my connection to the rapist?
Yeah.
Zero, except that I was in the same rental car that he rented.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a private jet. It's a charter company. Trump's plane was down. They needed... If we're going to get into Epstein, and I'm all for it, let's address some of the other weird things about Jeffrey Epstein. The source of his wealth, the role of Ghislaine Maxwell and his ties to other intelligence agencies, his little black book, the lack of high-profile prosecutions. All of those are worth investigating. But instead, the news is reporting on this. Why?
Yeah, because it's anything, Rob, anything to make... Because, bother you, this is how many more months, how many more until the election?
2.5, 3?
2.5, 3 months. They're in full-blown... anything. The Hitler stuff, the end of the world, the World War III, nothing's working. This is just another, because by the way, I didn't even see that, But that I don't. That's nothing because it's like, guys, if there was proof that Trump did anything with underage girls, trust me, it would have been all over the news. Like think about. Remember the Billy? Well,
I'm sorry. I'm looking at Twitter right now. What people are reporting on this? They're bull crap accounts. So I'm not going to even read them. But one guy says, "So Epstein left the Lolita Express to Trump in his will." Is one person. Another person. Why is Trump flying on Epstein's old plane to campaign? Oh my God! Well, it seems that these are outright propaganda accounts. I was looking to see if Aaron Rupar was like, "Oh, he's on the."
He's gonna say something stupid, bad.
So, what I think this is, though, you talked about propaganda. I think what's going on, and this sucks because you're on it. You're watching us on this. But I believe that the internet is going to be the downfall of humanity, and I think we're seeing its effects in real time in the 2024 election. What this is, what I think is this is the mainstream media weaponizing search engine optimization to use Trump's name, tie it to Epstein in any way. So you get the exact reaction that Viva was just reading on Twitter. People who aren't paying attention and just see Trump, Epstein, they run with it and they go. We've talked about Trump's connections to Epstein. We've debunked the flights and if there were underage kids on it. The only underage kids that were on the jets with Trump when he was on Epstein's planes were Trump's own kids. Yeah. So if you're going to say Trump's raping his own children, then that's your argument. That, yeah, he was raping kids, but it was his own with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah,
that's your argument?
Didn't you see there was a meme about how he was inappropriately posing with his daughters in pictures from the past and like trying to make him look like a pervert, and then people like, this is a normal way for a father to take pictures with their
unlike Joe Biden, who showers with his daughter at inappropriate ages.
And she writes about it. Kids. He took a photo with his Trump took a photo of his daughter Ivanka on his lap, and everybody's like, that's creepy. Yeah. But Joe Biden's like, hey, Ashley, hand me the loofah. And that's not weird to anybody.
Yeah, I know that you're probably 16 years old, but get my back.
And so abnormal. She's traumatized for life as a result of it, where it's a core memory when she's an adult writing.
Dude, she has problems. She's on drugs. She's been to rehab. She sees a psychiatrist. Oh, by the way, Biden as a father is just home run. He made
Howard Stern said he's a good father.
I love
1 for 3. Bo was good, and it's a shame what happened to him. Yeah. But it seemed like Bo was respected, and he would have been the future of the Biden family in politics. Yep. And now Hunter's not going to be.
Now we have Hunter Biden. What a degenerate.
What I really dug into, because while this is going on and the news is reporting on this, what they're not reporting on is that it's 24 days since Kamala Harris has held a press conference, has done an interview. Why? We talked about this yesterday on the special edition of Unusual Suspects, and Tom brought up a great point. They don't want her going out. They don't need her going out because the only thing that she can do at this point is harm her campaign. She has nothing to campaign on, right? This is the same woman who locked up more than 1,900 people on marijuana convictions when she was district attorney.
And then laugh, Rob, and then laugh when they asked if she smokes weed.
She did not. For somebody who is with the Black Lives Matter movement and supports, when she was district attorney of San Francisco between 2004 and 2011, she didn't prosecute any crime, any police for any type of assaults or any type of mistreatment of people in the due process of law.
Weird.
So she's supposed to support Black Lives Matter and stand against police brutality, but then as the district attorney didn't do anything about police brutality. But then guess what? She also doesn't do anything for the police because there was a convicted murderer. His name was Isaac Espinoza. He was the murderer of a San Francisco police officer. She didn't even put him to death. That guy killed a police officer and continues to live on our taxpayer dime because she was okay. Then let's go to the border czar. Do you want to argue whether she was border czar or not? March 24th, 2021, Joe Biden puts her in charge of a diplomatic effort with Mexico and the Northern Triangle countries, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, to address the root causes of migration to the United States and the southern border. Since then, more than 8 million people that we have documented have come into this country illegally, and they're going, well, she wasn't in charge of the border, but she was put in charge of diplomatic efforts to stop other countries from having their citizens come here. What do you mean she wasn't in charge? And then look at the fentanyl numbers. Fentanyl numbers through the roof. When Trump was in office, 170,000 people died of fentanyl. As of today, and we still have 6 months left in the year and another 7 months under Joe Biden's tenure, or 4 or 5 months, whatever it is. We're at 250,000 fentanyl deaths. Look at the inflation numbers. Bidenomics clearly not working. When Trump was in office, 1.3 inflation, 2.1, 2.4, 1.8. Look to 2021 under Joe Biden, 7.0%, 6.5%, 3.2%. She has no platform to run on. So what they're doing, Vinny, I really believe this. I think they're weaponizing the internet. And if we could pull this up, here's the money. Follow the money. They always say follow the money. Take a look at this. This is spending by advertisers between May and August 11th of this year. So we're talking about 3 months, of which Kamala Harris has only been the nominee for 3 weeks. Donald Trump has been the nominee for how many months? But look how much money has been spent promoting Kamala Harris on Facebook. $269,965, $177,892, $122,241, $115,683. Then you look, there's one Trump up there. $92,000, and then another Harris Victory Fund for $89,000. They're outspending Trump 5-1. So when you wonder, why do I keep seeing all this Kamala Harris support on my Instagram page? Why am I seeing it on my social media? Why does it seem like everybody I know all of a sudden supports Kamala Harris? It's because you're getting flooded with these bought and paid for ads, and then they're weaponizing search engine optimization to hurt Trump. This is the worst, and it becomes policy no longer matters to anybody.
No,
this is
nobody
crazy.
cares.
My neighbor was at my house yesterday, and he's a very nice guy. He's a plumber. He was helping me install a water filter. I'm paying him. And he is arguing with me, telling me that I'm alt-right and that I'm a Trump supporter. I'm
in your house?
In my house. Nice guy, but all of a sudden, it's just like he doesn't pay attention to issues. He pays attention to social media. And I'm going, well, what are Kamala Harris's policies?
No tax on tips. She just announced that the other day.
Trump,
bada bing, bada boom.
Trump announced that 3 months prior. And then I go, can you name a single one? And he couldn't. I went, I encourage you to go listen to Elon's town hall with Trump or their X Spaces. Trump lays out everything he wants to do. He just put out a 20-point policy. But I don't think any of that shit matters. I don't think policy fucking matters
So let me ask you a
2024.
question, Robbie. What would, if Trump started spending the money that she's spending on the ads, like, hold on, is he not able to? Because, I mean, we saw that one. Is it, why isn't Trump bombarding us with his...
That guy right there knows the answers.
Connor, why isn't Trump's campaign spending the amount of money? Because social media, you made a great point, dude. That's where everybody lives on this, and everybody's doing this. I can't tell you the amount of content that I'm watching, and then Kamala Harris is there begging me for money. Right after, I see Kamala on YouTube, I see her on Instagram, and I see her on Facebook. I don't see Trump. Trump is just on my feed on my phone because
she's like the black female Zelensky. She's begging for your money.
Give me money. Give me money. I need money. I
Yeah.
pay back.
Well, what Rob's talking about, we just discussed this before the show. Most of it comes from the massive Democrat money laundering operation that is ongoing in favor of Harris. If you guys have ever looked into Act Blue,
Yes.
it is the primary online fundraising thing that the Democrats have used for decades. They are responsible for bringing in all the money. When Harris got, what was it, like $200 million in the first 48 hours?
Yeah.
They said, oh, it's all from the grassroots.
No.
You know, it's individual donors. Well, I don't know how many times Act Blue has to get exposed for this, but James O'Keefe, I believe, just did it a couple weeks ago for the upteenth time that it's happened, where they find that Act Blue will take small money donors who give $20, $30 and use their name and information to launder thousands of dollars to various campaigns.
And they don't even know
to get around campaign finance laws that prevent too big of a donation.
And I seen that, and I see like one guy was like, I didn't donate 50,000, but here's the thing though, and again, a message for the Republicans: you have to get dirty. Okay, dude, I'm tired of. I'm not saying we are, but the Republicans. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I'm just an independent dude that votes however I want to vote. Yes, I'm going to vote for Trump, but dude, they need to step up their tactics. These people not only go to the FBI to investigate you. Okay, they're all the other stuff. Look what they're doing with Act Blue. They're spending the money on the ads. They're opening the border with illegals to come in to vote. What the hell are y'all doing?
And that's the other problem, Vinny, that I wanted to mention. Is that Trump's team is failing him this time around.
Huge.
Because in 2016, Trump spent way less than the Clinton campaign and anyone else who was running against him because he got free advertising.
Yep.
Every time the media would run a clip of him and use it to attack him, it would help him because people would finally see clips of him that they otherwise would not have been able to. It's not working this time. It
Nope.
didn't work in 2020 either.
And that's only 3. How far are we into Kamala Harris's run? Is it 3 weeks?
3 weeks, but
About
she has not yet officially, they haven't had the DNC. One of the theories is that Trump is going to go easy until she is locked in and then destroy her.
Yeah,
and
because
symbols.
they might do the switcheroo with Gavin.
They
Newsom.
could-
By the way, Gavin Newsom was
or Michelle
cleaning-
Obama or The Rock. Like they might be able to pull a switcheroo. And Trump went a little too hard on Biden, knocked him out before the DNC.
Trump destroyed
The theory is, some people are espousing this, that he's going easy on her now, and they're holding off until he said it himself in an interview. Like they're going to have their DNC coronation, and then I'll start campaigning
can't
harder.
wait. Yeah.
They'll destroy her, and they're going to destroy Tim Walz afterwards.
But my concern is, okay, it's only 3 weeks in, and they have outspent Trump 5-1.
But-
The Trump, it was 90,000. Can you pull those numbers back up real quick, Natalia? And let's show those numbers again. Look, it's not 5-1. It's like 40-1 because Trump's campaign has spent $92,000. And look at that. It's 269, 177,000. Like, these are massive numbers, and it's only 3 weeks in. So how much more are they going to bombard your feeds going into the next 3 months with
Rob,
this woman?
that's one thing to put into perspective. Like I've run these campaigns before,
Yeah.
and those are not really big numbers. Like I've spent more money
Yeah.
on smaller campaigns. But the other thing is that how the system is set up. It's usually set up for ads that have good content to be
Yes.
boosted over whatever they're spending.
Yeah.
So if the message that Kamala Harris doesn't, it doesn't convince people,
Yeah, it doesn't resonate.
It doesn't resonate. It will get throttled. So like whatever they're spending, that's what they get. Now it's true that they're doing a disservice for Trump. Even though the media is trying to pull him away from like the free advertising, on the other side, the media is pushing like free advertising for Kamala at a rate that we didn't even know. Like if they had to put a money value on the Times Magazine painting that
forget
they
it.
did, on the interviews that they
moment.
do.
Can
like,
you imagine they put her on the cover of Time magazine, and then they accuse Elon of giving a campaign contribution to Trump by giving him an interview?
It's like someone did a breakdown on Twitter, like the amount of like free time that she gets on every, like in a positive light, on every single like outlet.
all positive.
It's unbelievable. It's like billions of dollars.
It is astroturfed, artificial, and
Fake.
it will come to light hopefully. But there's a lot of people out there who are not even don't even know what to look for.
You know why? Because a lot of people are stupid. What's up, everybody? Vincent O'Shaughnessy here. If you want to see me and the entire Valuetainment crew, we will be at the Vault Conference September 4th through the 7th at the Palm Beach Convention Center, hosted by none other than Patrick Bet-David and featuring Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Guys, this is the place to be. If you are an entrepreneur and you want to level up, do not miss this opportunity. This is the best place to network. If you want tickets, go to thevaultconference.com. Do not waste time. This thing is going to sell out, and I will see you guys there. Peace and love. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.